Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thanks for joining me on Mandorine for a YTX news update where we cover YouTube news, drama, exposures, whatever is going on with YouTube that I'm interested in. Well, today, ColossalisCrazy, formerly of the Baited podcast, released a twit longer detailing his new podcast with Tommy C and Dead on Dave. The new show's called Catch 33. There's no episodes out yet, but there is a YouTube channel with over 35,000 subscribers and counting. So this twit longer is just covering expectations, what to expect from Catch 33 podcast. And basically, Colossal says this is not baited. It's going to have a different dynamic because there's no Keemstar. And also, Tommy C is going to have a louder voice. And of course, Dead on Dave is a new host to a lot of listeners who aren't familiar with Shot from the Point Live, which is Tommy's weekly stream covering YouTube drama and also hockey. So I'm going to read from the beginning to the end what expectations Colossal lays out. So quoting, "So Tommy is quite ill at the moment and progress has been slowed a bit. We are working behind the scenes to prepare for the first episode's release. The first episode is not going to be about why Baited ended. We'll mention it as they did, but we won't be getting into it. We'll probably also discuss their episode briefly, but it won't be much more beyond that. Some people love the name, others hate it. I admit it does sound like some fucking nightclub in Hawaii, but I think it's clever and works for a podcast. In all honesty, and this is what I'm keen to reiterate, we really don't care if you don't like it. This applies to the podcast also. The three of us are doing it because we enjoy doing it. We hope it's going to be entertaining for the listeners, but it's somewhat secondary to entertaining ourselves. Some people are saying it'll fail. Well, it might. Others that it won't be baited. Well, of course it won't be, and the best one. It'll never be as popular as other podcasts. Of course we know that, but we really don't care. As long as it's entertaining for us to do, we'll keep doing it, even if people hate it. Obviously, if it's just a mass hated, then yeah, it's probably no longer fun, but you get my point. It's not baited, it's a different dynamic, but it won't be that dissimilar actually. Tommy and myself have had plenty of heated arguments. Tommy might just replace who Keemstar was on Baited. Maybe. I'm actually going to actively try to be more of a cunt on the podcast. I came across as too nice on Baited, but it was mostly because anyone would seem that way when you were arguing with DJ Killer Keemstar. I'm genuinely hoping to be more of a dickhead on the new podcast. There's already one Jacksepticeye, we don't need two of them. As far as choosing topics go, it follows the exact same formula of Baited, so you know what to expect. Irregular guests, and by that I mean we could literally have one every episode or 1 in 100. There won't be any consistency there. However, we favored doing one with a guest over one without. There won't be a guest for the first episode, but we might have Scarce on for the second. Haven't officially asked him yet. 24 hours approx. After the episode's release, we're doing an after show on the YouTube channel. This after show will be similar to what you've seen on Tommy's channel, Shot from the Point. It's a live stream where listeners can call in. I'm all for viewers donating and putting their 2 cents in, but it actually might be too complicated to split this up between the three of us, so we might forego that option in lieu of simplicity. That's something Tommy, Dave, and myself have yet to discuss. And yes, the split is 33.3%. There's a YouTube channel up already. I'll put the link in the description. We've already hit 35,000 subscribers before the first episode, so thanks to everyone for that. There will be SoundCloud also linked to an iTunes account if you prefer listening that way. It'll be created the same day the episode is released. Apparently, we have a Twitter now too, since someone created it for us. I'd actually rather it be fan-run over us owning one ourselves. Episodes will be released on YouTube first and shortly after on SoundCloud. We're dividing the workload a great deal more than we did on Baited, where I was kind of doing most of it. I'm still going to be doing all the editing regarding that. I've got some ideas for more dynamic podcast on YouTube. On Baited, we just had a repeating animation, but I'm taking that to the next level with Catch 33. To give you a small indication, there will be face cams involved, though not entirely. Despite my Christmas face reveal, I will not be involved in that, while the other two will be. I could say it would ruin some of the illusion, goes against my character, etc., but actually it's null and void since I don't even own a fucking webcam anyway. We're working closely with an artist who I hope will end up being what Ultra Joe was/is to Baited. He's very fucking talented, and if you saw the trailer I posted yesterday, then you know what to expect. I'll also post the trailer in the description. There are a few more things to expect, but you'll have to wait for the first episode for now. It might well be this weekend, but there's still quite a few things to sort, so in all likelihood it won't be out till next week. We do not have a schedule, and we never will have one. We're aiming to have an episode out once a week, but that'll be more of an average than anything else. No, it won't be Baited. No, it won't be Keemstar vs. Clown. No, it won't be as popular as the other podcasts. No, it will not be the most entertaining thing you've ever heard. But we hope it'll be entertaining enough to listen to regularly and entertaining for us to do. I'm looking forward to building a small but dedicated following of listeners that call in and interact with the show on a regular basis. That's kind of the ultimate goal here, really, and I'm very confident we'll be able to pull it off. If we don't, well, who gives a shit? As long as everyone involved enjoys the ride, it doesn't matter how long something lasts. Thanks for all your support thus far. And so that is the twit longer for anyone who is too lazy to read the whole thing. Personally, I'm very excited about Catch 33, and it's a good thing that Colossal's setting expectations here, because if people are going into this new podcast expecting Baited, they're probably going to be disappointed. And I think people who might have been fans of Shot from the Point Live, where Colossal often called in, and people who are familiar with Tommy C's personality outside of Baited, are probably going to gravitate more easily towards this, while I expect a lot of people are probably going to come hating on the show without having read this tweet, without really knowing who Tommy is outside of his role in Baited, without knowing who Dead on Dave is, and people are going to be like, who's that guy in the beanie? Who's Dead on Dave? This show sucks. I'm sure there's going to be so much hate, no matter what they do, however much they do right on the first show. People are going to come expecting it to be the same thing as Baited was, and that's just not the case, because Keemstar was such a pivotal role in Baited. Now, I think personally that Tommy has more of a radio personality, so he's naturally inclined for podcasts, whereas Clown obviously has a tremendous voice for narrating and a gift of a voice itself. And I think Dead on Dave will play a good supporting role in this. I'm not sure if the conversation is going to be more focused on, Colossal and Tommy, but it'll be interesting to see kind of what role each of the people on the show will take here. So I just wanted to give you an update and kind of read that tweet, because I know a lot of people won't read it, and maybe we can do a little damage control before the first episode drops. As far as the second episode goes, I think Scarce, as much as I'd like to hear an episode from Scarce, I think that's a weak starting point, even though it's not the actual starting point. I think you need to build a strong second episode to try to win over people who were hesitant and blinded by the hate that's inevitable with the first episode. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear yours below. You know how to leave a comment, whatever. If you want to get more YouTube news updates, just let me know on this video, or check out ytxnews.tumblr.com, where I've been posting updates on the show for the past few weeks already, as well as Baited and other things going on within the YouTube community. So once again, this is Mandorine with YTX News. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.